Square, joining the march for no war with Iran. And as you continue, we're going to follow the protests and see if we can speak to anyone, get some thoughts on why they're out here, why they feel so passionate about no war with Iran, their thoughts about Trump's decision into bombing Iran, and what their thoughts are on Israel. So come on, let's go. Let's keep walking. Excuse me, ma'am. Do you mind if I ask a few questions on why you came out today? No? Okay. Thank you. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Be safe. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
He's a good one to ask.
Right here?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
May I ask you a few questions, please?
Go ahead.
Okay, so first and foremost, what made you decide to come out to this protest to no war with Iran today?
Because people got to speak up. This war is criminal.
Okay.
So I'm here. People got to speak up. There should be more people.
Do you think that this war that's going on is us defending America or us defending Israel?
This war is Trump's war, and apparently Israel's making our foreign policy for us.
What should American citizens do if this is the case?
You know what we should do? We should get together and organize, but that's a long-term thing. I think there should be a general strike, not only because of the war, but because of everything else that's going on.
And when you say strike, what kind of strike are you talking about?
I'm talking about a general strike. People don't go to work. People stop working. It's ridiculous that people continue the normal activities when the world is in crisis.
That is concerning, right? Because then it could lead someone to believe that maybe people don't care about what's happening, right? But I want to know, if we did do that, which I think could be a good strategy, how would people live on a day-to-day basis if they're not working, kids are not going to school?
Everything should be free. So so that's what we should do. We should just liberate stuff.
How could we afford to make everything free? How would that work?
We can do that now. The billionaires are making so much money that the government is just giving them Trump. It's just giving them money hand over fist. They don't pay any taxes. In the meantime, people can't afford to live. There's plenty of food. There's plenty of stuff. It's just how it's being distributed is messed up.
Do you think Iran has a right to defend itself?
Of course. Of course. Of course, Iran has a right. Everybody has a right to self-defense.
Now, a lot of people are saying that this is because Israel wanted to stop Iran from having nuclear weapons, but I believe that Israel also has nuclear weapons.
Israel has nuclear weapons. Everybody knows that. And they weren't stopping anything. Actually, Iran was in negotiations with the U.S. and other countries to stop its developing a nuclear weapon. And that was under Obama. As soon as Trump became president, he said it was a bad deal and pulled out. So it put us back, maybe 8 years.
So I believe Israel has nuclear weapons too. Yeah. So if Israel has nuclear weapons, would it be fair for another foreign sovereign nation to also have the same capabilities as Israel?
The solution is that everybody should stop producing more nuclear weapons and destroy the ones they have.
Okay. Do you think that's something that the world globe and the world powers can come to an agreement on?
You have to. Because everybody has known since, and I think the Cuban Missile Crisis in the 60s made it very clear that a nuclear war will lead to the end of humanity as we know it. And that's been very clear. So people have been doing it for, I don't know, they're doing it to get other people to back off the example of that is North Korea. North Korea built its nuclear deterrent by itself with no help from anybody, no help from China, no help from anybody. And because North Korea has a nuclear weapon, nobody's messing with it. Okay? When you talk about let's denuclearize, look what happened in Libya,
Mm.
right? Look what's happening in Iran.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying that that's an argument for continuing along the nuclear path, but everyone's got to get together, and everybody has to stop developing, and everybody has to destroy what they have. We're on that road. You know, there were agreements to stop nuclear testing, to stop developing nuclear weapons. Trump comes along, and that whole thing is turned around.
I have one last question. Why isn't that other countries have not arrested Benjamin Netanyahu?
That is a good question. They should. That's a very good question. I think that for some reason, Israel exerts undue influence over the foreign policies of a lot of countries.
Okay.
You know, he's a criminal,
I agree.
and Trump is now a criminal.
I agree as well.
So why don't they arrest him? So that's the thing, is that we need a new world order. That's the problem.
Okay.
As long as we have a world order that's based on capitalism, it's all going to be about money. And whoever has the money has the power, no matter if what they do is moral or not. If you have money, you can buy whatever you want. And that Trump is showing that. Actually, he became president. When he started out, he didn't have a penny. Everything he had was bankrupt. You know, so he was able to use the presidency to steal everything. And now he can determine policy because people are afraid because he has money. He can destroy you, he has money. You know, anyone that stands up, he'll use his power to go against you. So, you know, people are afraid.
Okay.
There's nothing to be afraid of, really. We're all going to die anyway.
Well, thank you very much. I'll see you. Take care. Yes. Thank you very much, everybody. Well, I'm an independent journalist from the XP show, The Experience Show. So I like to document people's thoughts and opinions on anything and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Take care.
I hope this is okay.
No, perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you. Whew. So how we looking? Good? All right. So that was a pretty good interaction. Got a good feedback. The New World Order is definitely something that many people are talking about, especially on how to make things free. You know, he said to liberate everything, liberate food, liberate everything. If I'm a farmer, do I want people coming and liberating my crop that I grew and took care of for all these months, you know? That's something we have to kind of get to a better understanding of on how we can do all these things. Well, yeah, but look, if you look forward, it's a wave of people. We're just at the tail end. So we're going to try to catch up and interview some more people. All right. Bear with us, everyone that's watching. I don't even know if this is public or not. I think I might have left it on private. Yeah, it's probably on private, so it's okay. I'm going to just take the footage, turn it into mini clips. No ice sign, okay. Stop the water. Agree, yeah. Right. Oh, so what's to the left? So there seems to be a good mix of in terms of demographic, in terms of age, you know. Excuse me, everybody. Can I ask you about your sign? Okay, no problem. Thank you. Operation Epstein Fury plus US 37 mil per hour. Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you about your sign?
Yes.
What
I ask you
inspired
who
you?
you're with?
Yes, my name is AG. I'm with the Experience Show. I like to document everyone's thoughts and opinions about anything and everything.
Thank you.
So your sign, can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yes. The words here are Farsi for peace and democracy. I
Okay.
spoke to family in Iran this morning, and I asked them what I should say, and they said, please just ask Americans to think about peace and democracy.
What do you think American citizens are missing with this war that's going on?
The cost to us. My sign says 37 million an hour, and there's always plenty of money for arms profits, but
That's
not
true.
so much for hospitals and schools.
That's correct. And I know that a lot of schools have been suffered a lot of casualties and getting blown up and bombed, as well as hospitals.
Yes.
Do you think Do you think America may be lacking compassion to what's going on in the Middle East the past couple of decades, but more so right now?
I think that America lacks information. I don't know anyone who doesn't know the story of our spend that doesn't ask serious questions. And I think the people that come to grand conclusions about a self-righteous point of view aren't listening. And one of the things that scares me the most is how people are choosing to be ignorant. Because ignorance is, the ostrich with its head in the sand.
Not oblivious to everything.
So thank you.
One last question, if you don't mind.
I'm a little afraid because I don't know you guys.
No,
because a lot of right wingers have been doxing people terribly. So I'm a little.
I
about that.
don't support either left or right. I always come out here to be neutral. I just want to
Thank
share
you
people's
very much.
stories. My Instagram is Real XP Show.
Real XP. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
so
Thank you very
I
much.
post-
Thank you for your honesty.
You got it.
too.
I post all unbiased,
This is
just
what a
straight.
journalist should do.
Correct.
you know.
I do have one last question, right?
Yes.
Now I know that there's some troops that are being prepared to go to Iran. What needs to be done in order for American citizens to stay out of Iran?
I don't have an answer to that. My guess is that people across this country have got to say, you can't do this illegal war with our tax dollar.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I mean, I don't know that better minds than ours know either, but I hope that at least people that aren't doing this comic bravado that are going to send people off to war, because we've seen that before. I'm old enough. I saw that in Vietnam.
How can we stop our tax dollars from funding Israel and wars like this? Like, what can we actually do today?
Well, the speakers today all said the same thing. They said one of the tools in our toolkit is to reach out to our representatives because they do respond to pressure. And if these thousands of people all call,
Can
that doesn't
you get this?
That doesn't sleep. They don't sleep well after that. I've known some of them over the years, And so, will they change? Will they have the arms dealers leaning into them as well? Sure, but the possibility exists. I don't feel hopeless, but obviously it's a terrifying situation right now.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Be safe.
Thank you. So the taxes is a big issue. How can we stop our taxes from being used in other countries and start being used here in America? America, the education system has been lacking for a very long time. The medical system, people are always complaining on how corrupt the medical system is. So how can us as American citizens get our tax dollars to be used more here as opposed to being used in foreign countries? And that's always a big issue because those that are in power, whether Democrat or Republican, always find a way for our money to be used elsewhere. All right. Have a good one. All right, let's see who else we can engage in conversation. I'm gonna get like some. I'm gonna speak to some like a younger crowd now. You know, kind of get their thoughts since they are of age to be drafted. If there is, you know, let's walk around this way. Excuse us, everybody. So it's a big turnout, a great turnout, like every protest there is. A lot of people find the cause is very compelling to come out and show support. And I'm sure we can all agree we don't want more lives being lost senselessly for money, for profit. Excuse me, everybody. I'm sorry to interrupt the conversation. Okay, thank you guys. Let's see. There is no flag large enough to cover the shame of killing innocent people.
Right.
Can I ask what inspired you to put this specific quote on the flag?
Howard Zinn. He was a bombardier in the Second World War. He had a deep conversion of heart, and he wrote the People's History of the United States.
Okay.
He's a very renowned historian who died just a couple years ago.
Okay.
And I had the pleasure, many of us did, to meet him, to know him.
When you met him, what was something you took away that still stays with you today?
Oh, very much so. How he directed his anger in constructive way against war, against violence. I find I'm so distraught right now that my rage is crossing over to hysteria at what's happening. But Howard Zinn is a model for me of anger that is directed in a constructive way, that doesn't turn inward and eat you up. We have to stop this. I was in Baghdad as part of a small peace team in 2003.
Wow.
Under our bombs, shock and awe. We were able to go to the bombing sites and the hospitals during the US bombing campaign. We didn't learn anything from Iraq. Nothing. We're just repeating endless wars, innocent people.
And we didn't find what we said we were looking for.
Exactly, a war based on lies. Same thing. We need a regime change here in this country.
Do you think that we are trying to offend America or Israel? Because it seems like
Oh no, I think the idea that that Iran is a national security threat to us is just
I've never felt threatened by
ultimate
Iran.
hypocrisy,
Yeah,
you
I don't feel threatened by Iran. So
But we live far away. We live far away. We're not touched by war.
true.
You know, I often said, right after the Iraq War in 2003, the invasion, we need an occupation in this country. We need to have foreign tanks in our streets, pointing guns and shouting at people in a foreign language to understand what we're doing all around the world.
I don't think people think about that often
No,
enough
of course
because they're
not.
separated by two large bodies of
Exactly.
water,
Exactly.
by an ally above us, somewhat of an ally below us. We can't. I don't think Americans
I
comprehend
know.
the severity of having a bomb dropped here in New York City or in Los Angeles, or people, tanks crossing in through the Canadian or Mexican border.
I agree.
What do you think the youth is doing right or doing wrong?
You have to talk to the youth.
Okay.
Talk to the youth.
She said I have to talk to the youth.
I'm not really a youth, but I don't know how you define that.
Okay. How old are you, if you don't mind sharing?
Like 30?
Okay. What do you think people our age and younger may not fully understand when it comes to the severity of actions that the United States takes in other countries?
I don't think they understand that we've been doing this for a long time. This isn't the first time we've done something like this. We did it 20 years ago. We did it in Iraq and Afghanistan. We did it in Vietnam. We've
South
done
America.
it South America. So many places where we've propped up regimes where we don't have a big invasion, right? But I think we've supported a lot of repressive governments in a lot of places, and we've dropped our bombs on a lot of places, and it's meant an incredible expense for the people of the United States that we can't have the kinds of social programs that we need because we're fighting these endless wars. And it's fomented a lot of anti-American spirit around the world because people think of us as people who drop bombs on them, not as people who come and, support democracy around the world. And so I think young people need to understand that this is part of a historical pattern and we need to break this pattern. This isn't a new thing. This is a continuation of how things have gone for a long time.
Now, there's troops that are apparently on standby or getting ready to be sent to Iran. What do Americans have to do today to stop that from happening?
They got to get out in the streets. They got to call their Congress people. They have to think about it. Even in 2003, when we invaded Iraq, the Bush administration made up a bunch of reasons why we should invade Iraq that were false. But they made up those reasons so that they could get the American people to support that war. Because they felt like if the American people in Congress didn't support the war, they wouldn't be able to do it. They wouldn't be able to send American troops abroad to get killed. They're not even doing that this time. They're just going to do it without ever consulting Congress, without ever thinking about whether or not public opinion is in their favor. I don't think it's good that Americans can be shipped abroad to be killed or to kill others, and I don't have a say. I think that's ridiculous. So I think people need to call their Congress people. They need to learn about the War Powers Act and the fact that Congress needs to approve any kind of war that the United States takes part in.
right.
And they need to get out in the streets because Congress is also really ineffective. So if they're not going to stop it, then we need to show public dissatisfaction with what's going on.
Now, I've had this idea bounce around by multiple people that Trump had made some of these decisions to go to war due to cover up or prevent more conversations about the Epstein files. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I can't say for sure that that's why he did it. I think there's probably a lot of reasons why he did it, but I don't think that's a bad theory. We can't know for sure, but it definitely is distracting from that kind of stuff. So,
Okay. All right. Well, I want to say thank you to the two of you. I'm AG. I'm with the Real XP Show, where I like to document people's thoughts and opinions on anything and everything.
sure.
All right.
All
Thank you.
right,
Take care. Be
thanks.
safe.
Yeah.
So that was very informative, right? Now I want to see if we can get someone. So we get someone that maybe has been to war, right? That's fought in a war, and what their thoughts about what's happening now, whether they agree or disagree. So. Thank you. So it'd be great if we could find someone with military experience and get their thoughts on what's going on. So you flipping, brother? Good. Yeah. Let's try to speed walk a little bit. Excuse me, do you mind if I ask you a few questions? Yes, sir. Yes? Okay. So my name is AG. I'm with the Real XP Show. I like to document people's experiences about anything and everything. So I saw you have the Planeteer on here, which I thought was very interesting because I found out a little bit about the company Planeteer and what they're trying to do or have been doing. How do you think American companies or companies that are built on espionage or spying or trying to get more insight into what other countries are doing, or even just to what's the word I'm using? Monitor people. How do you think that plays a part in wars like this with Iran?
Let's see. Mind if I take a second to think
Yeah, go
about
ahead.
that? I want to give the best answer I can. So. Well, I think that the war in Iran can be seen as a part of U.S. imperialism as a whole, which is based on both oppressing other countries around the world, but also the U.S. masses at home, the working people in the U.S. as well. So there's spying and intelligence gathering that happens, from within one country to another, but we also have the spying on and repression of citizens in each country, and the U.S. considers the working people of its own country as its enemy. And so, we have Palantir being used to, collect data and surveil for military purposes in Iran, sure, but we also have it, for example, I was at a couple months ago, the New York City nurses strike.
Oh, yeah, me too. I went to,
Okay, yeah.
up there on 114th in Amsterdam. I was over there.
Yes. So it turns out that Palantir is also trying to sell its services to the healthcare industry in the U.S. and is hoping to be responsible for basically taking in the data of all of the patients, the stuff about their health and their their biometrics and things like that. And so we can see the expansion of what seems to be just a wartime thing or a military thing into quote unquote the civilian life. And I think the way to explain that and to unite those things together is that there is a class war going on, as well as wars with other countries like Iran, where the U.S. is trying to keep itself in power. It's trying to keep itself in power on both the world stage and against its own citizens.
What level of responsibility do we have as Americans to say no to things like this?
We have all the responsibility in the world, and I think particularly those of us who are from the working class or who labor, because we are the ones who make this system go round. All of the power that these elites have or that our government has ultimately derives from us, not because of the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence, but because we're the ones who produce all of the wealth that they then turn around and use against us or against the people of Iran or against anyone you can think of. So we absolutely have a responsibility, but we can't have it just as individuals to, say, speak up or to denounce something, although that's certainly a thing we should do. We also have a collective responsibility to organize in our workplaces and to work towards using the strength of our labor and all that we produce and to take that for ourselves, for the vast majority of people, and to wrest it away from our ruling class, which uses it to oppress both us and the people of the world.
So what can we do on a daily basis?
Well, for me, I believe that the thing that can let me formulate this a bit.
No time.
I think that we have to study the people's movements that have gotten the farthest in the past, and for me that means studying Marxism, Marxism, Leninism, Maoism, and studying the revolutions of the working class that have been the most successful over the course of history. And then not only studying that as just an intellectual exercise or something to feel proud of in the past, but as something to learn from and to creatively apply today in all of our daily lives, in our workplaces, in our day-to-day interactions with people, in reading the news and analyzing it and seeing who's lying to us and who's telling the truth. And that's something that anybody can get started with, but at the end of the day, to kind of like put it into practice, it is going to require people who are doing that and who are interested in that to start meeting up and coordinating and working together.
So last question. America, Israel, Iran. Who is most in the right?
I think it's a bit of the wrong way to frame the question.
Okay.
If I was going to answer the question just as the question is, I would say Iran, because Iran, its military currently is destroying and actually really winning this war, which is
Yeah.
something that I noticed that the speakers of this march didn't really talk about, which I thought was surprising. But Iran really is winning this war and is destroying a lot of the U.S. bases and radar
Resources.
systems and things like that, which is going to severely weaken U.S. imperialism, not just around the world, but also here at home for us. And so I think, we in the U.S., because, the ruling class, the Epstein class, if you want to call it that, is also our enemy, the enemy of everybody around here that you can see. And so we should take the advantage of the victory that Iran seems to be having right now, and the fact that it's creating a weaker U.S. ruling class and weaker Israeli ruling class, and use that to gain more power for ourselves as the working class in this country. So Iran, out of the three that you described, I would say is, quote unquote, in the right, but they can only take it so far. They might be able to liberate their country, say, and maybe become more independent as a nation, but that's not necessarily going to free all of the peoples of the world from capitalism.
Sure.
But it's going to aid in that, and can be an opening for that if we step up and take it.
Okay. And I know I said that last question, but you said Epstein and the Epstein class, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about this idea? This idea has been bouncing around to me from multiple people, that they find it strange or a big coincidence that this war has been escalating since Trump's name has been being mentioned more and more in the Epstein list, or it has been becoming more uncovered in the Epstein files. Do you think there's any truth to that?
I think it's certainly a consideration that the Trump administration is making, but I think reducing it only to that kind of misses the point of the war itself. I think it still would have happened had the Epstein files not been looked into. I think instead of the Epstein files and their release, say, causing the war, we could better understand it as both of them are a symptom of the U.S. empire kind of crumbling and losing a lot of efficacy in the eyes of its citizens, and also just in losing actual objective power throughout the world. So I think they're related, but I don't think that the Epstein files release is the direct and only singular cause of this war.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm AG. This is the Real XP Show. I appreciate you talking to me.
Of course.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you missing. You gotta go up there to Amalek. You gotta go. They got a.
Yeah,
prominent Amalek.
Israel be wilding. I'm sorry.
No,
Amalek be wilding over here. Yeah.
no. There's a prominent dude there right now marching. You gotta go there interview him. He's on the left hand side.
Yashalom.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you found that. You had a warning about data on your phone.
What?
You had 2 warnings and stuff about data on your phone.
That's okay.
All right.
Excuse me. Shalom, anyone out here? Anyone out here can do an interview?
I cannot do a Saturday interview.
Okay, so I understand. I understand.
See our website, so Saturday.
nkusa.org. Okay. Thank you.
Where's the permanent jobs to show y'all this look?
I don't know. Excuse me. You mind if I ask a couple of questions? So my name is AG. I like to document everyone's thoughts and opinions on anything and everything, right? So I see you have a sign that says your taxes unalive children. I agree. How can we stop our tax money from being used for things like that?
I mean, I think it starts with really slow change for a large portion of American people that I don't think take enough issue, or I don't know, maybe they live in a bubble and they don't seem concerned with anything that sort of happens outside of that bubble. I'm talking about, like, I don't know, Republicans, middle America, white people. I think until they take responsibility for, you know, their role on the world stage, I don't think that things can really change tax-wise. I think.
Did you say white people?
I did say white people.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the ones benefiting from, you know, hundreds of years worth of oppression, hundreds of years worth of exploitation. So I think until they stand with us, I don't know, like, the power's in their hands, right?
So just looking back in the last 500 years in history, right? White people have really dominated and pushed their agenda of imperialism, or whatever word you would like to use, across the world.
Right, which is happening again.
So do you think the white nations that are ruling this world will relinquish that power?
Not easily, I don't think so. Again, I think I have a little bit of a cynical view, but no, I don't think that they want to relinquish their power. I think even well-meaning white people do not want to relinquish their power. So I think that there's a lot of social change that needs to take place over, like, a long period of time before we get to the stage where, like.
Do you think that there's since white people are ruling now, do you think there's another race of people, or do you think there's a different group of people that should be ruling the world?
No, I don't think that. I think that's, you know, far ahead in the future, when, like, the power balance will tip over and, you know, white people will not be at such an advantage in the world. But I don't know what that would look like. That seems like very far in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that who do you think Americans should be supporting in this conflict? America, Israel, Iran, or a combination of the three?
this is probably naive to say, but I think they should be supporting people like human beings. And I think that's the problem, maybe not just with Americans, but I think largely with Americans who hold a lot of power with their votes, that they're very concerned. Like, again, even well-meaning ones, like you'll hear headlines talking about how many American lives were lost in, you know, some sort of tragic event where hundreds of other people died too. I don't think it's about being concerned with one country or the other. I think.
Now, I had someone tell me that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Yeah, I get a little bit.
What do you think about that statement?
I don't know, my face is on camera, but I'm not familiar with the Bible, I'll say that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. All right. Come on, let's move up. Let's try to get some of the signs that are out here. I'm sorry. We got a sign, USA, stop arming Israel, ceasefire now.
No war in Iran now. No war in Iran now. No war in Iran now. No war in Iran now. No war in Iran now. No war in Iran now. No war in Iran now. You guys threaten the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. Donald Trump in the USA. Biggest threat in the world today. Biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. Donald Trump in the USA. Biggest threat in the world today. Biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. Donald Trump in the USA. Biggest threat in the world today. Biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. Donald Trump in the USA. Biggest threat in the world today. Biggest threat in the world today. Donald Trump in the USA. Donald Trump in the USA. We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? Hands off Iran now. Hands off Iran now. We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? Hands off Iran now. Hands off Iran now. We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how?
They're gonna have like a main speaker that comes, so I'm gonna be in the front so I get a good picture of him. Normally he's the one that's speaking with the grace.
Hands off Iran now. Hands off Iran now. We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? Stop bombing Iran now. Stop bombing Iran now. We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? Stop bombing Iran now. Stop bombing Iran now. We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? Arms embargo right now. Arms embargo right now. We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? Arms embargo right now. Arms embargo right now. Arms
That's right.
We reject this notion that our people only care about what's directly in front of them, only care about their immediate survival. Our people have solidarity. Our people have the will to fight.
That's right.
Our people know what justice looks like, and this is what justice looks like.
That's right.
Ending U.S. wars is what justice looks like.
That's right.
Building a society where our tax dollars go to fund the needs of the poor is what justice looks like.
That's right.
Ending the genocide in Gaza and the occupation in Palestine is what justice looks like.
That's right.
And getting the U.S. out of the Middle East once and for all is justice.
That's right.
Our work here is far from over, and we know this. I expect to see each and every one of you and the 5, 10, 15 people that you move into action with us to be at the volunteer meeting this Monday at the People's Forum at 6:30. That is a short walk from here. Bring your people so they can get a clear sense of where they can find their place in this movement too.
That's right.
Because each and every single time that we come together and we do this, we help one more person feel more courageous to stand up against this war drive.
That's right.
We make it very clear that the truth is people in the United States reject this war that is being waged in our name and on our dime. We are setting the record straight, and we are letting it be known it's the people, and it is always going to be the people that have the power to change society, to bring about peace, to bring about justice, to bring about the kind of society where we put U.S. imperialism to bed once and for all.
That's right.
This is the future we fight for together. I will see you at the meeting on Monday, 6:30 at the People's Forum. I will see you at the next action. We will keep fighting. No war on Iran!
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 We want justice, we want peace!
We want justice, we want peace!
U.S. out of the Middle East!
U.S. out the Middle East!
We want justice, we want peace!
We want justice, we want peace!
U.S. out of the Middle East!
U.S. out the Middle East!
We want justice, we want peace!
We want justice, we want peace!
U.S. out of the Middle East!
U.S. out the Middle East!
We want justice, we want peace!
We want justice, we want peace!
U.S. out of the Middle East!
U.S. out of the Middle East!
Thank you. Before you leave here today, meet someone new. Exchange contact information. Find someone to go with you to the next protest, to the next volunteer meeting. Make these connections because we're all we got, and this is how we build the movement day by day. Thank you.
Let's see if we can get some thoughts on what people think. Come on. How you doing, sir? Sir, do you mind if I ask a few questions? Oh, sorry. Enjoy. Good afternoon, everybody. Do you mind if I ask a few questions? I just want to get your thoughts on everything that's been going on.
I'm okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, come on, Shark, get him. Right here. Boom.
Good afternoon, sir. Do you mind if you tell me a little bit about your sign? I find it very hilarious, but also pretty spot on.
It says it all. I mean, it's serious times. So something's got to be done. He's out of his mind.
What do you think about the troops that are preparing to go to Iran right now? What should be done to prevent that?
Protest and vote. I mean, what else can we do? You know, can't break the law.
True. Okay. Do you think that it's possible that bombs can be launched by Iran here? And how would that change America's viewpoints on this war that Trump has got us into?
I don't think that's possible yet, but if that day ever comes, we're in big trouble. I'm afraid to think of that in the future like that. It's scary.
How can we separate ties to Israel so that way we don't have to worry about people like Donald Trump being puppets?
That's a tough question. Smarter people than me are going to have to figure that out. You know, because I have no idea. I was always a supporter of Israel, but not this ministry, not that regime.
Okay.
Netanyahu's got to go. This is as bad as Trump. They're just pathetic.
Okay. Now with Benjamin Netanyahu, right? I've seen a compilation of videos where every 5 years or 6 years he said that Iran was close and close to getting nuclear weapons, and it's always the same story each time. So far, Iran hasn't been found to have nuclear weapons.
Exactly. It's all a cover for the same as Trump's doing with the Epstein files. Netanyahu's in trouble in his country as well, you know, and they're fighting for their lives, these guys. And they're willing to have other people die so they can stay in power. It's pathetic. It's
Now,
pathetic.
you said the Epstein files, right? So a few people have told me this, that they think that this has something to do with the war that Trump has waged, was that the Epstein files has a lot of information containing him,
Absolutely.
his actions, and his name.
I believe that wholeheartedly. And he'll stoop to nothing to save his ass, you know? He's a pathetic guy. He's empty. He's an empty suit. There's nothing inside of him. He has no moral compass. He has no soul. He has no compassion, no empathy. He's nothing. He's just a big bully, you know?
Okay.
I can't believe people voted for him the second time. I'm sorry. You know, first time, okay. But second time,
Do you
it's
think
all on them. It's on them.
Do you think Kamala would have been a better leader for the United States?
My dog catcher would have been a better president. I mean, come on, that's a silly question, almost a silly question.
Okay.
Of course you would.
Okay.
At least she has character and spirit and a soul, you know? Democrats aren't perfect, but at least they care. Or they're selling it pretty good anyway, you know?
Now, another thing I've heard today was that what's happening is kind of related to biblical prophecy. Like the war needs to happen. What are your thoughts about that? People believing that this is biblical prophecy coming true.
I don't know. I don't really go for. I don't believe that.
Okay. Okay. Next question. Benjamin Netanyahu has been on the international wanting list, I believe, for the international court. I think what was it, Nuremberg, something like that.
Could be. I don't know.
So he's wanted by several different countries. Why do you think he hasn't been arrested yet by the international court?
Because he's careful where he travels, and they play it safe, and he's the head of state of Israel, and people don't want to mess with Israel. You know, they hide behind what they have, the power that they have, that keeps them in power, and they're ruthless, and they'll do anything to keep that power. They're both the same. It's like they're twins, you know, him and Trump. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Well, thank you. I want to say thank you to having this conversation with me.
Thanks.
I'm AG. I'm with the Real XP Show. I like to document people's thoughts and opinions on anything.
Okay,
All right.
appreciate it.
And I like the picture. Did you guys get the picture? Yeah. Another one? I'd rather be woke. Well, thank you so much. That was funny. That was funny. What you said?
You gotta pick some people that look
Approachable?
angry. They got signs and shit.
Let's see.
You missed that Amalek dude, not the fuzzy hat wearing ones. It was one that you could tell he was like a leader or some shit.
I'm surprised. Normally, there's a lot of like pro-Israelis here. I didn't see any today.
How about the white boy with the red hat on? He was talking.
I think I spoke to you last time. I'm going to speak to him again. What?
This gentleman with the upside down American flag. When the flag is upside down, it means it's stress. You want to get his opinion?
Where?
Right there.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. You know if I talk with you? No.
We're far ways away from.
How you doing, sir? Mind if I have a conversation with you?
Sure.
Yeah. So I see you have a sickle and shield. Are you part of the Revolutionary Communists of America?
Yeah.
What group or do you support?
Okay, 2 years ago, My company was hired to expose Kamala Harris and Tim Walz as radical Marxist communists, which they are. Okay? So we came up with a term called Marxocrat. A Marxocrat is a Marxist communist disguised as a Democrat. So that's how Marxist communists are taking over the Democratic Party. Mandami, Ilhan Omar, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, they're all Marxist communists taking over the Democrats. So there will be no more Democrats.
Okay.
They're done. There are no more Democrats. You're going to find that if Kathy Hochul doesn't play ball with Mandami, she'll be out.
They'll
They'll
vote her
replace
out?
her with a Marxist communist. So what's going to happen is this part of the country is going to go completely Marxist communist. That's why the New York Stock Exchange is moving to Dallas, Texas right now.
Really? Okay.
Okay, everything in the financial world, which I consult to, we're moving everything down to Texas and Florida. We're done with New York. There will be no entry-level jobs for college students this year when they get out of school. This is going to go Marxist communist. My prediction, 2 years, New York will look like Detroit.
Like Detroit.
Have you been to Detroit lately?
No, I have not, but I have people that have been, and it's very, very rough. Very.
Well,
very
Detroit
rough.
used to be the auto industry.
Yes.
And it was a vibrant, thriving
Yes.
city. Anyone could move there and become middle class very quickly, regardless of where you came from. You get a good job, become part of the middle class. Now you go to Detroit, there's nothing. The auto industry got sucked out. Wall Street and finance is being sucked out of New York City right now. All my friends that own hedge funds, they're in Palm Beach. We've left. I'm the 1%. Okay, I'm the 85,000 people that pay all the taxes in New York because our income exceeds $1 million. Well, I left. I moved my businesses and my residence to Florida, so Mandami can't steal from me. He can't steal from me in Florida.
So with that said, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think people are starting to lean towards ideas such as Mamdani?
Because capitalism has failed. Okay, we need to bring back what's called free enterprise. That's what built this country. It wasn't capitalism. Capitalism is just as corrupt as communism, as socialism, as all fascists. They're all corrupt. Free enterprise is what built this country. When my grandfather came here from Germany, he built 3,000 homes. He didn't pay one dime tax because there was no income tax. So he was building homes, making a profit, and he kept everything he made because there was not an income tax until 1941. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
You
Yeah.
probably studied that. So why do we need an income tax? Why do we need to tax people? Why do we need to make small business leave New York? See this store right here, Macy's?
Yeah.
That store will be closed in 8 months. The largest department
That's your prediction,
store,
or that's based on?
it'll be gone. The largest department store in the country will close in Midtown, right here in Herald Square, because the shoplifting in that store right now costs them $3 billion a year.
3 billion?
3 billion. with
And
a
just
B.
this store?
Yeah, and their insurance company won't pick up the tab anymore. And why do we have that? Because if someone shoplifts in there right now, they steal $1,000 worth of clothes, that's not a crime.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
under
if I
certain-
stole your microphone right now, I should go to jail.
for theft.
And
yeah.
that's not $1,000, whatever it costs. But there is no rule of law in New York anymore. If someone comes up and punches you in the face right now and breaks your jaw, Alvin Bragg's going to let him out of jail tomorrow.
I've heard the news about him allowing or lessening the
No,
charges
there
to the
are no
kids that were throwing the snowballs at the police officers.
Yeah, well,
he lessened them.
We should not be treating anybody like that, police officers, anybody. But there's no rule of law in New York, okay? And now you've got a Marxist communist who wants to increase everyone's property tax by 9.5%. Who is that going to affect?
I
If
think that
if
will
I own an
that
apartment
would affect the
building-
person that's paying the rent.
No, the renter. I'm going to have to pass that cost on to the renter.
Like with
Didn't-
tariffs.
Yeah, didn't he run and say he wanted to lower rents or freeze rents? Now he's raising them. Guess what else he's doing? He's raiding the teachers, firemen's, and police officers' health care fund. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
He's raiding their fund for their pensioners to have health care so he can make up his budget gap. Because if he doesn't close his budget gap by June 1st, the city will be in receivership or bankruptcy. So
What-
he's got to balance the budget by June 1st.
What would happen if the city did go into bankruptcy?
Well, it happened in 1975. The city was shit. I was here. I don't know if you were here.
No.
Okay. They didn't pick the garbage up for 3 months.
So was
Police
it on the floor?
officers and firemen didn't get paid. Ambulance drivers didn't get paid. Okay? The city was on the verge of collapse. And a bunch of rich people, a guy named Felix Royerton, one of the richest real estate developers in New York, he came in and saved New York because he had a lot to lose. He owned a lot of real estate.
You got to keep that investment
So
going.
it was the rich that saved New York. Now we want to tax the rich and drive them out of the city. We're leaving.
But if the
okay?
rich leave, who gets taxed then?
What?
If the rich do leave,
You're next. You're not going to be rich. And then when they're done stealing everything you got, the people beneath you, they're going to go after them. Why do you think Cuba has no electricity? Why do you think North Korea has no electricity? Why do you think the Islamic theocracy in Iran, they don't have water to flush their fucking toilets? These people are out here saying there's going to be a war. There's not going to be a war. Iran can't even provide water to flush their fucking, pardon my French, their toilets. Think about that. And they're going to take on the United States military when they can't even provide water to their own people? They're done. And the next guy in line, the Mossad's already taken them out. If you were next in line in Iran to take over the Islamic theocracy, the Mossad already knows where you live. There's going to be a missile in your bedroom tomorrow morning. This thing's going to end in about 2 weeks. Okay?
so what do Americans need to do then?
We need to go back to the system we had before income tax, before corrupt capitalism, okay? We need to do away with that. We need to go back to free enterprise. What my grandfather found when he landed here from Germany, he was a carpenter. He knew how to build homes. He built 3,000 homes, took him a long time, but he kept everything he made. The government didn't steal from my grandfather. Okay, and he became very rich as a result of that. If you could have back every dollar the government has stolen from you in your life, how much would you have?
I would say maybe $500,000.
And what do they do with that money? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They piss it away. Look at Mandami's child care program. It costs $23,000 to put a child in daycare. $23,000 in the private market. Mandami's program costs $36,000.
In the private market, in the same market?
Yeah. So why is his program cost $13,000 more? Because government is notoriously inefficient because they don't work for the money. They steal it from the taxpayer. If you could go in that store right now and steal everything you want, you'd never have to work another day in your life. That's what government does. Everything government says is a lie, and everything government possesses was stolen from its citizens. And I'll leave you with another happy thought. Okay? Is that money?
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Well, legal tendency, legal
No,
currency.
it's currency. You know what currency is?
Tell me.
It's not money. Okay? If tomorrow the Federal Reserve Bank ceased to exist,
They will be worthless.
that promissory note, toilet paper would be worth more than that promissory. That's a promise to pay.
Yes.
That's not money. What does the Constitution say money is?
I'm unfamiliar with that.
Gold
with that
and
part.
silver.
That's what
There
I'm
will
gonna
be
say.
no money other than gold and silver. Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. Everybody in this country should have a free legal education. Everyone in this country should understand the Constitution. If you did, no one could ever get over on you. Okay? When I knew that that was going to zero, and it is, what did I start doing?
Investing in gold and silver.
And guess what's happening now?
They're it's
Silver
going
has
down.
tripled in price in 1 year,
Yes.
indexed to that worthless piece of paper, and gold is double. We're indexed to that worthless piece of paper. So the gold and silver is essentially not worth any more than it was last year, but that piece of paper is worth nothing.
So then what should people be doing with this then?
You should take that right now. You should, okay, if you have 40 of those, or 50, no, I'm sorry. I'm not keeping up with my own investment. If you have 85 of those, I'm sure you do, go to a coin shop and buy a silver dollar. You know what's going to happen? That silver dollar is going to go to 200, and that paper is going to go to 0. That's what you do. Or you invest in real estate in Florida, like I did, where you don't have a scumbag like Mandami who's going to raise your property taxes. You got a guy running for governor right now. His name is Bruce Blakeman. He's currently the county executive in Nassau County. What did he do when he got elected? The very first thing he did, he lowered property taxes. Think about that. He told everybody, I'm going to lower your property taxes. You know why? Because Bruce Blakeman, the county executive of Nassau County, would prefer not to steal from people. He said he'd lower it. Then he hired 800 new police officers. You know what happened? Crime in Nassau County went to zero. It's now the safest county in the entire country. Meanwhile, if you cross over into Queens at night and you run into Tren de Agua or MS-13, what are they going to do to you and me?
Not a pleasant interaction.
They'll take our heads off. They will slice your head off on the train coming back just to steal your microphone. But Bruce Blakeman solved that problem in Nassau County by hiring 800 more cops. What did Mandami do? We were supposed to hire 5,000 more cops because we're 7,000 cops short right now. Think of how scary this is. In Florida, I can own a gun. So in Florida, I can open up this coat. If you're going to mug me in Florida,
And
I'm
defend
going to
yourself.
open my coat and show you my gun. I'm not going to pull it out. I'm just going to show it to you, and you're not going to mug me. But can I own a gun in New York City? No, I cannot. That means I depend on these people. Well, guess what? We have 7,000 fewer guns on the street owned by the people to protect us than we did 10 years ago. Did you know that?
I did know that
Yeah.
the police rate.
So not only can you not own a gun, you're a law-abiding citizen. Not only can you not own a gun to protect yourself, but Mandami wants to make sure they're not going to protect us either because he's not going to hire 5,000 more to protect us. And he'll get rid of them too. And he will disarm them, just like the mayor did in London. Do you know that the cops in London can't carry a gun?
They carry around the sticks, the
Yeah.
billy clubs and all
No,
that.
they have a whistle.
No, I thought they had the sticks too as well.
Well, yeah, but they're not going to protect you with a stick or a whistle.
No, they're not.
The reason you and I are safe here right now is because of those guns on their waist.
Yeah.
When Mandami takes all those guns off their waist, you and I will never be safe in New York City. And this will be closed by, so we'll go back and watch this video in 8 months. This store will close. It will not see Christmas. It will not make it to Christmas. Did you know 2 people got stabbed to death in this store in December?
No, I did not.
Yeah, 2 people got stabbed to death in Macy's in December by illegal migrants. They covered it up. The people bled out on the fucking floor in the largest department store in the country. This is your city. I'm sure you love this city. You should know what's going on in your city, right? And that's probably why you're doing this.
Yeah. Well,
So,
thank you. I
be
appreciate you
safe,
got
man.
here.
Be safe. There's always hope, though. I don't mean to be
No, it's
completely
okay.
negative.
You in the small hats.
Guys, can we have a quick conversation? Yeah? Hi, my name is AG. I like to give you a little down real quick. I like to get people's thoughts and opinions about anything and everything, right? So, oh, it's okay. I'll just hold the mic here, right? Well, you're not working though, you know this. So, what's your honest opinion? What do you think is going on out here? You know, you have America, Israel, Iran. You got other countries might be wanting to join. What can people do to solve this situation?
We got to come together, you know, as a group, and you know, fight for it. You know, we gotta have unity here. You know, it's too much fighting. You know,
What needs to happen?
No beef, yo.
What needs to happen in order to get this unity?
We gotta come together, yo.
How would people do that though?
I don't know, man. I don't know. We
Okay.
gotta come together.
Are you in support of Benjamin Netanyahu, or are you a Jewish person who is not in support of him?
He's cool. He's cool. You know, I don't really follow politics, but
Okay.
I go to my parents live in Israel.
Okay.
Yeah, so
How have they been affected of what's been going on?
yeah, it's crazy. Yo, the rockets everywhere. It's crazy.
Have they been trying to leave Israel and like go somewhere else?
Nah, they're staying. They're staying.
Okay.
Yeah, they like it over there.
So then, are you in fear of one day waking up and finding out that they're no
that's-
longer
yeah,
here?
Yeah, it's, yeah, can't have war.
Yeah.
It's my friend David over here.
David, how you doing?
I'm looking for Palestine on the map.
You looking for Palestine on the map?
Yeah, find me Palestine.
Well, during the Roman occupation, I think they might have relabeled certain areas there Palestine.
Everybody, he said it was when the US took over England. I don't want talking to you, Mike. It's a Saturday. Sorry. But he said.
Wait, what?
He
It-
said
it-
something
it
else.
being
You're
Saturday?
saying something
No,
else.
you
The
can't
story
do,
is
you
not
can't do
adding up here.
electricity
Look,
on Saturday.
he said.
Okay.
It's a
He
Jewish.
said. This guy just said it was when the U.S. gave the land over to Israel only a few years ago. You're telling me the Roman times. Everybody's giving me a different story. I find that very strange.
Well, historically, it was during
And
the
no one
Roman
has the
occupation.
no one has the story straight. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
Usually when things are lies, they're not straight.
Hmm.
It's a very small.
So when
observation, yeah.
when do you think the name Palestine came into effect?
There was no such thing as Palestine. If you look into the Quran, you won't see the word Palestine. You'll say Israel. You won't even see Palestine. So even if you look in the Quran, you won't see Palestine.
Well, I'm not worrying about the Quran.
Okay,
I'm just
so
saying
who does the
ge-
land belong to?
geography.
Who does the land belong to? Who's
According,
the land?
according to the Bible, the land belongs to the Israelites, to the
It
Bible.
belongs to Israelites, exactly.
Yeah, not
There you
Israelis,
go.
but to the
I
Israelites.
don't care. Israelites.
It's
Doesn't
a
make
big
a
di- it
difference.
does. It's a big difference.
One thing we
Israelites,
know is Israel.
Israelites,
I'm inside the Chai.
Israelites are people who are born from one of the houses of the nation of Israel.
I'm-
Israelis
I
could be
am-
someone born
I
in
am
Israel.
Israelite, and nothing you can say can make
What
it
tribe are you
anything
from?
different. I'm from the tribe of Yehuda.
Of Yehuda?
Yeah.
Is that because of your mother or your father?
Both of them.
But which one makes you that? According
My
to the Torah,
DNA.
according to the Bible, which
I
parent?
keep. You know what? Find me anyone else that keeps the Yiddish kind. Like
According to the Bible, which
you,
parent
I know
makes
you
you?
got the thing, but where's your tzitzis? Where's your keeper? Where's
We
your
don't.
yarmulke?
We don't wear tzitzits.
Why are you not keeping the Saturday? Okay, you're not real Jewish. Bye.
We're not Jewish. We're not Jewish though. Don't flee. Don't flee. Come back. Come back. No, he don't want to answer. He don't want to answer. He don't want. So what do you think about that? We're asking a question and he don't want to interview. Okay, no problem. Right.
Ask the brother.
What do you think?
He couldn't take the pressure now, man. I'm a journalist.
No problem.
You're not Jewish. That's what.
So that's the issue that people have with Jewish people. Jewish people seem to lie and say things and run when given information that is historically accurate. So do you mind if I ask you a few questions? Not at all? Okay, perfect. So I had this Jewish man say that Palestine is nowhere on the map. And I was telling him that yes, it is on the map because during Roman occupation, they had a name change and they changed the land to the name of Palestina. And he was saying, no, that's not true. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not an expert in the history, so I didn't know that specific fact, but trust your judgment.
Okay.
And I am certainly aware that the land that is now known as Israel on the map was taken from the people who were referred to as the Palestinians before that in 1948 in an act of overt terrorism. So that I know.
Do you think that the British and and America had the power or the authority to give portions of that land to what people call Jewish people today?
Not in my mind, no. Of
And,
course they
and
would
why?
disagree.
No, but I want to get your opinion. So my name is AG. I'm
Nice
with
to meet
the XP show. I like to document everyone's thoughts and opinions on anything.
Sounds good,
Right?
man.
So I want to get your thoughts, your opinion.
On what's happening right now?
Yes.
On everything? On the
on
war?
everything.
on-
Anything you want to talk about.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think you should give me a specific topic.
Okay. So with Iran, is Iran right to defend itself? And how far should Iran take it?
Yeah, I mean, this gets into what counts as defense and what counts as attack. But certainly, if one country strikes Iran first, then of course they have the right to strike back.
Okay. So I put a post up on Facebook recently and stated that if Israel has the right to have nuclear weapons, Iran should also have the right to have nuclear weapons.
Seems perfectly reasonable. Yeah.
Many people had an issue with that.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, I think that people are, and again, look, I'm not an expert in geopolitics, did not study geopolitics, so take everything I say with a grain of salt.
Okay.
But as far as I understand, there are a lot of people in the international community that are not fans of Iran having nuclear weapons, but also are not fans of Israel having nuclear weapons. And I think that if I'm more worried about one of those countries having nuclear weapons, it's Israel. They've got the Samson Doctrine, they've
I would
got
agree.
a bunch of really fucked up stuff going on.
Because I don't read too much about Iran using missiles to bomb other people on a daily basis or committing acts of genocide, but I can read about Israel doing that.
Exactly. Yep. I completely agree. And I think, I mean, realistically, I think people who are looking at the situation with clear eyes know that. And I think that, you know, it's Israeli rhetoric that Iran is actually some sort of threat to, you know, the safety of other countries in the Middle East or the safety, especially of the US. I think that's just Netanyahu wanting his war that he's wanted for 40 years.
I've seen a video compilation where Netanyahu is saying 1995, Iran is close to having nuclear weapons, and like 4 years later, Iran is close to having nuclear weapons, and it's just like every couple of years he's saying that Iran is close to having it, or is 6 weeks away from having it, or a couple of months away from having it. We still don't have any evidence that Iran has nuclear weapons.
Yeah, I mean that. Again, I don't know the details of that. I'm perfectly happy to trust your judgment on that.
Okay.
For now, but yeah.
So I know Iran was in the news recently about, because they were having like some type of civil uprising with its own citizens, right?
Yeah.
Some people were using that as a reason of why Iran needs to be invaded or needed to be attacked.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a equal justification when compared to what Israel has done?
No, of course not. And of course, we can talk about the need for, you know, more progressive regimes in places like Iran. But at the end of the day, they were not committing a genocide against their own people or the people that live within their borders.
Right.
And those are the types of reforms that should not come about from regime change wars and merciless bombing of innocent civilians. They're bombing schools, they're bombing hospitals. At the end of the day, that's the sort of thing that needs to come about politically, and we can have that conversation. But absolutely, no, there's no question. There's no justification for what's going on, what Trump and Netanyahu are doing to Iran.
Are you an American citizen?
Yes.
As an American citizen, what do we need to do to prevent our troops from taking a step on Iran soil?
Brother, if I could tell you that, we'd have our problem solved. I don't know.
And your
man.
opinion, just your opinion.
That's why I'm here. I'm not the expert. I want someone else to tell me. I don't know. I genuinely, if you're asking me if I have a concrete thing that someone like me or you can do, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. This is coming here is the best I've got at the moment.
Okay.
What do you think?
In my personal opinion, I believe that this is something that cannot be prevented, because I'm someone who believes in the Bible. So I believe that to me, in my opinion, the fake state of Israel needs to be destroyed in order for the real Jews to return, and in order for Christ to return and have righteousness rule over the world, where there's no genocide, where there's no children starving, where there's people who are living according to the laws of God, in my personal opinion, right? So as an American citizen, I think we can protest, we can march, we can do everything that we think would work. I think that it's something that can't be prevented, that it is going to happen, whether it's today, 10 years from now, 100 years from now. It's something that is just a train ride to that last stop.
Yeah, and can you articulate specifically what it is that's going to happen that can't be prevented?
World War III.
World War III.
Correct.
Okay, and
Yeah.
that would involve
involve
U.S. troops stepping on
That would involve-
Iranian soil.
that
Is
would-
that what you said?
That would involve the United States getting involved in a war in the Middle East,
Yeah.
and other nations picking sides and joining in that war.
Right. I mean, it
So
certainly
Iran,
looks,
their allies, Israel, their allies, all coming
Right.
to that region.
Certainly looks like a plausible possibility right now. I'm curious because I guess I share your belief that I don't know if I think it's an inevitability, but I certainly think World War III looks highly likely in the next, if not now in this instance, sometime soon. But what I don't share is your belief that that will be a good thing. It seems like you think that will ultimately, even if it's an ends justify the means type of thing, it's bringing us to a good place. And I'm not sure I'm convinced of that yet, but I'm curious to hear why you think so.
The saying that the ends justify the means, right? I don't agree with that when it comes to every single instance, except for when prophecies in the Bible need to come true, and that's where I draw the line. So I think what's happening needs to happen in order for the prophecies to fulfill it. So like the fact
Can
that
you articulate the prophecy?
yeah,
What's the prophecy?
so for instance, right, In the book of Revelations, right, it talks about how the great whore Babylon is sitting on a beast. So for us, we would believe that America is this whore that has the ideas and has done the same thing as ancient Babylon has done, or ancient Egypt has done, or even Rome, and that the beast are all the other countries that supported Babylon, this whore, and being in power, and then everyone attacking this whore that's sitting on this beast. So for instance, the prophecy would be, in simplest term, America being attacked or being betrayed by its allies who helped put it up on that pedestal or in that position of power. So that would be so when the Roman Empire fell, you had a couple of countries or governments that came into power after the Roman Empire. You had England, you had France, you had Germany, Spain, Portugal, that all led to the creation of the United States, which is, maybe people may agree, which is probably the most powerful white civilization or white nation or government in today's day and age, right? So then you had other places that grew powerful because of economics, right? And world markets and having control. So that would be America having to come down and fall from that position that they were put into. That would be a prophecy that would need to happen.
So I'm just super curious because it'll help me get a sense of where you're coming from. Is this related to the like Black Hebrew Israelites theory or no?
I don't know. I think derogatory terms can be found in anything that other people don't agree with. So to say Black Hebrew Israelite would be a derogatory term.
I wasn't even necessarily using it that way.
No, I'm saying just that concept, right? It would be the same as someone saying the N-word or calling someone a Jewish person a K-I-T-E, right? You know, so I do come from the Israelite belief, and I am an Israelite. But when I come out here, I just like to ask questions, get people's thoughts, you know, try to be neutral. Because I was asking that Jewish guy a question, and he was like very against answering if Palestine was even a real place. I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is a real place. It's historically, it's a real place. It's the Romans changed it to Palestine, so it is a real place.
Yeah.
He got offended.
I asked him what he would think if the U.S. did to Israel what Israel did to Palestine.
What did he say?
He wouldn't answer the question. He said, I refuse to answer irrelevant questions. And I asked him why it's irrelevant, and he just said it's irrelevant, and he wouldn't go anywhere from there. He was clearly scared to answer the question or didn't know how to answer it. So
I think that's the false belief that converts have. I think the false belief comes from converts over the centuries, such as like Herod the Great and Agrippa, right? Converting to the culture and teachings of the real Jews, that over the centuries and decades, as more people converted to the traditions, they kind of get this sense of, I'm going to be better than you, right? Well, in the Bible, the real Jews are supposed to honor everybody. You're supposed to treat everyone with respect.
yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, I look, I don't know. I'm not well versed in this theory that you're talking about. And of course, I'm not a fan of anyone thinking they're better than anyone else. I also don't want to necessarily ascribe that to like all Jewish people or all anybody. I think I know a lot of Jewish people who certainly don't believe that, you know, they're better than anyone else because of their Jewishness.
I met some out here today too.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really,
I think
much less
it's
a question
Zionist
of
belief.
Yes, exactly. There are certain people who subscribe to a supremacist ideology, and I think that's what we should focus on: the people who have these beliefs, not the people who necessarily are part of some ethnic or religious heritage per se.
And I think if America did to Israel what Israel was doing to other people, I think they would call America a Nazi country. You know, like if they had such a horrible experience under the Führer's rule and what he did, and if America did the same thing to Israel right now, they would turn and say that we were Nazis.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I think that makes sense. So, your name's Julian?
Yes.
Pleasure to meet you, Julian.
Likewise.
I'm going to take off.
Okay, you be
But,
safe out here, okay?
Thank you. You too,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Spread the love.
All right. So that was a good conversation. We had a Jewish man that did not want to have a conversation about historical facts. We didn't have a Jewish man that did not want to talk about how Jewish people are Jewish, whether it's through your mother or through your father. When the Torah says your father, right? But yeah, anything you guys want to interview, talk to some people?
No, I'm good.
No.
Want to swap interviews? Swap interviews? For the guy over here with the hat, want to swap? You do one, he do one?
Yeah.
And no. The guy with the white hat, you want to interview him for an exchange for interview with you.
Okay, let's do it. Excuse me, you out here doing interviews?
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to get this guy if he's willing to talk. But you guys
Okay.
doing it too? You guys go
Yeah.
live?
You mind if we interview each other?
Bro, I'm not the one talking. I'm just the guy doing the video.
No problem, bro.
But I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's fading out now.
But,
I'm surprised that like the whole
you-
pro-Israeli weren't out here.
I'm glad I was here because you would have chased him down the street. You were going for it. The nigga took his hat off. Don't
No.
run, motherfucker! Don't run.
I wasn't gonna. That would never have
He went
happened.
from an interview to a battle like that.
No, because I'm trying to get him to
Opportunist.
yes, but I was trying to get him to stick to the historical fact. You know,
Take a picture of that.
he can't take a picture. It's a video.
Can you video that? You know what that is.
Don't do this. Don't do this on the channel.
Is that recording still?
Yeah, it's live. Yeah. So like I was saying, I wasn't going to go after him. I was trying to see what, you know. I've always go live.
I thought you were getting quotes anyway. Is this working?
Yeah, it's live. We can end it now. Everything's died down.
Ain't it profitable?